Hey y'all, I'm Kendrick Shope. Now I know what you might be thinking. Oh great, here comes another person telling me a ton of skill sets that I need to run a successful business. But not so quick. I'm gonna share with you today a no BS, true way to make money in your business. Hello, and you are in for a treat today on Sell Like a Woman, the podcast, because we have Charene Goodman here with us today, and she has got a challenge that we are going to dive straight into because I'm so excited to hear more about it. But first of all, Charene, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you, Kendrick, for having me. I am so pumped and excited to be here. So again, I'm just excited, so thanks.
Oh, it is our pleasure. I'll have to give you all just a little bit of backstory. Charene and I met when she was actually doing the mixologist, right? The Millionaire Mixologist Summit.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with her. I was like, oh my gosh, you have to come on the show. We have to introduce you to my people. So Thank you again. Thank you. Tell us a little bit, just because what a cool name. Tell us about the Millionaire Mixologist Summit, even though it's already happened. What was it? Such a great idea.
So it's called The Mix, the Millionaire Insider Extravaganza Telesummit. And I was so excited when you came on because that interview was just an amazing interview because you're just an amazing person, right? So, the Millionaire Insider Extravaganza, that telesummit was really about showing entrepreneurs that it is so possible to build a business that really is a 6 and 7 figure business. And so I had what I call just extraordinary entrepreneurs on there, money-making influencers, to really share their best insider secrets on really how to create a business that rocks. It wasn't like a silver bullet idea. It was just like them telling their stories and their best, like say for what you were talking about, just sales. Really, how do you really sell authentically? Because that's just a part of the business, right? You have to know how to sell and to feel very comfortable doing that. And so that's what that whole telesummit was about, was really these 21 dynamic speakers coming in and sharing their best insider secrets on really how to make your business rock. And so
it was so much fun. I had such a good time that day. So thank you for telling us a little bit about it. Now, before I said we're going to jump right into the Live, Laugh, Love Challenge because I want to know more. But before we do, tell everybody the backstory. So who are you? How did you get in this crazy entrepreneur game in the first place?
That's just a great question, right? And when I think about entrepreneurship, I just think that it's just a lifestyle, right? Either you're in the game or you're not in the game. Either you're playing it and staying or you are straying, right? But what I really do, I just think that it's a lifestyle. And sometimes when I first started this, I didn't know anything about being an entrepreneur. All I just knew is that I just loved freedom, and I loved having my own time and doing my thing. And when I say doing my thing, really is just really about the expertise that I bring to the table. And I saw this just even in terms of life, right? So I before becoming and jumping into this lifestyle called entrepreneurship, I was a consultant, love consulting, because it just allowed me to travel and go to a number of different companies and solve the problem and then move on, right? Solve the problem and move on. And out of that, one of my biggest loves that I got into and became certified in was just really project management. I love managing projects. I love seeing taking this unknown big picture, breaking down the details, and then making a final something tangible or visible that you've never started. You started with nothing, and all of a sudden through planning and action, you actually get a result. And so from there, after working with some very large companies, Fortune 500 major companies, and managing their projects, I realized that I really wanted to do it on a smaller scale. I want to see the results. I really do. I just tell you, I want to see the results that get produced. And
y'all are seeing why I fell in love, right?
Yeah.
Result queen, the result queen. Here we go.
And so, and to really take that to being an entrepreneur. And when I first started my entrepreneurial career, it really was still working with large companies. And then there was a shift. One is that sometimes companies, and it makes sense, but they're just so hard to turn around. It's so, they're so steeped in tradition. They're not nimble. They don't want to be, they're not nimble. They're steeped in tradition, right? And that was just really, I got to a point that it was just really like, I don't think I want to do this. I want to help those that are really rocking, that really want to do something. And
Yeah.
so I'm now in this space of really, and I even refined it even more. I'm really now in this space of helping truly female entrepreneurs, wildly ambitious, I call them wildly ambitious female entrepreneurs that are destined for that $1 million mark. Those are the ones that I want, that I'm helping. Those are the ones that that they have something and they just don't know, how do I make this happen? How do I launch this? And it's really about them now creating their own personal economy. That's my whole thing, is that for women to create their own personal economy and to do it through entrepreneurship. And really, I'm about really helping female entrepreneurs with exquisite execution for their launch, whatever
I
that
love
launch
it.
may be.
I love it. I
Exquisite
love it. I
execution.
love it.
So,
Thanks so much for sharing that
yeah.
with us. So let's get into a little bit about this, and we'll circle back around to this at the end too. But the Live, Laugh, Love Challenge. So what I just heard you talk about was all about entrepreneurship and creating your own economy and freedom. And so how does Live, Laugh, and love that, by the way, love, 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 love. How does Live, Laugh, and Love tie into entrepreneurship?
That's, again, I just love it. So if you hear me a lot and it's true and not being trite, that's a great question, right? So the one thing that I know, and have truly come to discover, and I've really been focusing on this month, is this thing called a business asset, which is your list, your email list, your business asset. And I kind of sense that we are flip about it, right? Oh, okay, I could just get emails, but that's your asset. And as a business owner, female business owner, you need to know your assets, cover your assets, and grow your assets. And so it's all about list building. And I created an acronym because, okay, I'm a consultant, right? We always have acronyms, and it's called ABLE. Always be list building. And I say every day,
I
every
love
day.
it.
Okay.
I love it. Every day.
Every day, right? Every day. Every day. That's too funny. But you always have to be list building every day, right?
You do.
To grow this asset. And so the Live, Laugh, and Love Challenge, list building challenge that starts next week on the 28th, is really about how to be real about this, how to be authentic, how to bring your true self to this whole aspect of list building, where you don't feel like it's a struggle, right? You don't want to be struggling in that, but where you actually understand what brings you, what makes you feel alive, right? What is it that you're living for? What is it? Who are you living for? Right?
Yeah.
What, all of these things, what do you live for? So that you can pour that into your list building effort when it comes to creating your opt-in, which I call your ooh la la opt-in, right? You want to ooh la la opt-in.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. And so what is it that's going to make you feel alive and what you're going to live for? Because it has to carry you through this entrepreneurial lifestyle, and you're always list building every day.
Yeah, you are. It's funny. I just wrapped a sales school and did a 90-day action plan video for them, because they all get a 90-day action plan at the end of it. And I said, look, none of this is rocket science. Again, I told you on day one, your most valuable asset outside of yourself is your list. If I was going to sell this 7-figure business today, they don't want me. They want my book of customers.
Exactly.
So they got somebody to sell to.
Oh, man. And so when I think about that, even if you think about where we were prior to really being online, it was the customer list. You were always building your customer list. It has not changed. It's just in a different format. And that's why you need to be building it, every day.
Yeah.
And so and then it's like, when I think about even with female entrepreneurs, they come from backgrounds that were not a corporate, I don't want to say that, they were not the full corporation, right, where they were working in every department. So in this new, it being an entrepreneur, you're taking on every aspect that you saw in a
Yeah.
corporation. And so, and without having those skills, it's like, okay, what do I do? So one of the biggest things, as you mentioned, is the list building. How do you do this? How do I do it every day? So so that there's that live aspect, there's the laugh aspect. I'm telling you, you gotta be lit up, you gotta be excited about this every day, right? Every day
Absolutely.
in this lifestyle called entrepreneur. And
Yeah.
so so that's the component of the love, really bringing all of that out. And then or I should say the laughing, and then the loving, right? You have to love what you do. You have to love what I call your net worthy niche. There, your niche is going to feed your net worth. It's a net worthy niche. How are you going to love this niche, right? What do you love about this? What do you love about your people? What do you love about sharing? All of these things that ties into this whole theme of list building every day. And
I love it.
so that's what this challenge is really about. It's also going to be exposing them to really the social media, right? The social media is what I call, it creates your traffic pattern, right? You get to direct your traffic to your list through social media.
Yeah.
So I'm looking. I actually going to have a Instagram queen of Instagram going to do one of the lives. So I'll be showing up live in the group, in my group, to talk about Instagram and how do you use Instagram for your list building. So I'm really excited about that.
You know, Instagram's so fascinating because, like I said, I've been around for a little while, and Facebook was what sort of my primary. I always say you got to be out among your customers. It's like when you're running for president, you got to kiss babies, you got to shake hands, you got, you know, you need to be out among your customers. And Facebook was the place where customers were when I started, but now it's changed so much, and it's surpassed me, the social aspect of it, in a lot of ways, because I didn't use Instagram. I mean, I put pretty pictures on Instagram and posts, but it's just not something that we had to learn to master because we had already sort of grown into our business at that point. And so I think anybody who is up and coming, and even if you're not up and coming, even if you're established but you only know how to use one form of social media, Instagram, Pinterest, all of those things are performing so well from all the things that I read for list growth, which again, everybody needs list building, right?
Yes.
Everybody in the club doing some list building.
Yes, do some list with it.
We need to take shots every time Kendrick tries to be a rapper. That would be fun.
No, you're all good. And it's just like, that's what I think about being an entrepreneur. You just have to laugh, and you have to be around people. You have to love what you're doing, because the flip side is you just don't want to go to that side. You want to just be engaged in all that you're doing. So I love it. You know?
So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're all good.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
So obviously this podcast is called Sell Like a Woman. So obviously we talk about issues here that women face that perhaps other people don't face, and about how to use our skills to be the most persuasive person in the room and how to get whatever it is you want. So are there specific, you came from corporate like me, you spent a lot of time in corporate, you've transitioned into this online entrepreneurship game. Are there specific, and the answer may be no, but are there specific challenges that you see that women face as they put themselves out there that perhaps men don't face?
Oh, man, all the time. And, you know, it's interesting. So I write a blog called The Millionaire is Entrepreneur, right? Again, it's about getting women, female entrepreneurs, millionaire focused. And I think that the biggest thing is always our belief in ourselves, that we have the capability to do what we dream about doing, or to serve who we dream about serving. And that belief factor, I call them our ABCs, right? There are three things: our attitude, our beliefs, and our cognition. And the cognition are really our thoughts, right? But those three factors together will either propel us up or derail us down. And too often we don't believe, even though we know, this is what I do believe, we know that we are great. We know that we have the stuff, but we, for whatever reason, we 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 don't want to release it. We don't want to express it. And I think that that's the number one thing that really stops us. We have to fight that every day to get past that icky point of, man, self-doubt, right?
I
Oh my
know.
goodness.
You know, men, and I may be wrong. I'm not a man, but men
Right.
don't seem to face this like women. I mean, they seem to walk in, sit down, bam, 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 let's go. And women are
Yes.
like, oh gosh, should I, could I, would I, what if? And I'm like, oh my God, why? Why? I'm guilty.
Yes.
Guilty.
Yes.
Why do we do this? I hate it.
And I
It
think it's really our conditioning. We know
absolutely,
this. This is the thing. We know that we've been conditioned,
absolutely,
but are we bold enough to allow ourselves to uncondition that? Do
absolutely.
you know? And
Yeah.
I know that it just comes with practice, right? It just comes with practice. It also comes with somebody rooting for you, somebody saying that you can do this.
Yeah.
See, so this is, it's interesting because this is what I do when I coach. In fact, I just had a coaching call with a client before this podcast, and I've been coaching with her for 2 years, and which is phenomenal. I know people say 2 years. You know what? Business does not pop up in a day. It is a
No.
journey, right? And I am blessed that she still are constantly. She says, "You were a prayer, answered prayer." I was like, "Oh, well, thank you." You know, but the fact that because life takes over, especially for women, we are not just moms. We are not just wives. We are 360 degrees of life in an entrepreneurial world, right?
Yeah.
And so it takes having what I call being that trusted thinking partner with them, right? With women, like, you got this. I know you can do this. Here's some strategies that I think you can help. You know, I mean, I've coached women where I say, well, where did you get that from? Why do you think that way? Okay, why don't you think this way, to create an aha moment, to create an interrupt or a shift in their thoughts so that they don't have to think that way, like, I can't do this, or I shouldn't get this, or, well, am I asking too much here? Those
Yeah.
kind of things that
Yeah.
really stop us. But it's the saying and holding them up and girding them up that, yes, you can do this. And don't think about that you're supposed to have already arrived and that you may not make a mistake if you've never done this before. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, that
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and when I think about how we differ from men on this, is that men, they've been trained this way. Oh, you got this. You can do
Yeah.
this. Go in there and get that in. But women have not. And we think that if when we get it, or for us to start to pursue it, that there's something wrong, that we shouldn't do this. And, you know,
So I've got a controversial question,
no.
and I don't know the answer. So I'm just looking for your opinion here. But
Okay.
we're talking about the difference between men and women, and sort of our socialization and what we've
Mm-hmm.
sort of been trained to believe or how to react.
Right.
Something that I've noticed in the 6 years that I've been doing this is I have met, and I know that there are more, but I've met 4 African American women who are
Mm-hmm.
running their own business.
Okay.
Is there a difference there as well? Is there? So we're talking about differences between men and women. Is it harder? Is it more challenging? Is there no difference? There may be no difference, but I'm curious your thoughts on that.
Well, and I'm glad that you asked that, because I think that there are differences because of perspectives and the way that you have been given a perspective. And so when I think about why would it be challenging more so for African American women, is because of the perceptions that people have created
Yeah.
around whether you're African American. There's a perception that um, I don't know what, that you're African American and
Well,
you don't
yeah.
really deserve this, and or really, are you really that good? So there's that question mark. Can I really trust you? There's that question mark, because that question mark, it is what hits at your belief system, right? And
Got it.
so people are just like kind of like blown away when you actually say something and they go like, man, that's pretty good. Man, really? You know? And I think that that's really, really interesting. And the reason why I say it's interesting, because I'm just keeping it real, 100.
Please do.
I go like, okay, and I say, Lord, I know you said to do this. You had me to get women to start looking and being millionaire focused. I get that. Okay, Lord, I don't really think that it's just African women. It's just women. Why? Because women have to make an impact in this world, because we can see what's happening when they haven't made the impact in the world.
That's brilliant.
Okay.
That's brilliant. I think that's
okay.
Regardless of red hair, black hair,
Yes.
African American, it doesn't matter. When women don't stand up and make an impact, look at where we end up.
Exactly. And then we're going like, what? Like, what the heck? Well, what the heck says that you need to get your voice out there. You need to stand up. You need to create the resources in order to make the difference. Because if I can use a biblical verse, right? A poor man's voice is seldom heard. You cannot impact change if you don't have the resources. And so that's where when my group, my Facebook group is called Millionaire Focused Female Entrepreneurs. I want you to be millionaire focused. Every day I go out a daily train your brain, because we have had so much junk put in us that we can't even see straight. We are thinking so incorrectly. Change your mindset. You have to do this. And so again, and it's not just African American women. That's not my target. My mission is to help females create their own personal economy. And it's so interesting. I had a little quick text message from a young woman in my group who is in the Philippines. And, I was just so excited. And I got that she has a big that needs to be birthed. So that's what I call the big birth internal greatness. You have something that you need to birth into the earth and birth in terms of your business. And she didn't know what to do. She was like, well, I want to do this. And so my coaching to her was, you need to listen. You don't want to rush this. So I'm just texting her, and she's in the Philippines, because you have something to do in the Philippines. I don't care who you are, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what, when you ask that question, that's what I want anybody who's listening. What I would say is, don't be fooled by the okie doke. It is not a skin color issue. It is not, I don't even want to say it's a gender issue, but women, you have a place in this earth to do something. And when I think about being an entrepreneur, this is your opportunity to really make a difference, and from that you would have unlimited opportunity to make as much as you want. But you got to step in. You got to be in the game. Don't stray.
That's right.
Be in the game.
So you got to be in the game. That's
be in the game.
You got to be in the game. One of the things I love about your message, Charene, is that there seems to be this camaraderie or this sisterhood among the women. Hallianna, my 9-year-old daughter, we've moved, and so she starts school tomorrow, and she is going to a magnet school that focuses on the arts. And she said, for the first time, I feel like people get me. And I was like, yeah, that's that feeling of being where people understand your dreams. She's like Obama. She's got really big dreams.
Nice.
And so she's like, I'm friends with people who want to be on Broadway, who want to be an actress. None of my other friends were really into that. And so there's something about being with other women. Actually, it's genetic. It is in our DNA to be with other people who have the same goals and to have the same vision. Allows you to feel safe, and it allows you to feel brave enough to take the next step to your mission.
Yes. And I think that that's essential. And I applaud you for putting your daughter where she needs to soar. Because, it's interesting. And I think I think it's something that women need to just truly recognize, that we want to try to save everything and everybody as we continue to play small. And that, to me, is a deception. that and a delusion that we create for ourselves. Rather, when you know that you are an eagle and not a chicken, that you are an eagle and not a turkey, that you are a big fish and not a guppy, right? That you
I
need to
love that you
own
just used
that.
the word guppy.
A guppy.
I
You're
love
not.
it. That is a word from home. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, I ruined
No,
the message.
it's all good, right? So there's like this connection. Now you just go like, can we just keep it real, right? You're not a
Right.
guppy. You are a big fish, and you need a big pond in order to just flow. So stop playing small, right?
All right, so let's keep it real.
Yes.
Let's keep it real. I'm about to do something I've never done before.
Okay.
Ever. All right, so in the vein of keeping it real, in the vein of playing big, you, Charene, are already stepping into this. I'll go first because
Okay.
I'm the one who opened my big mouth. But what's your big dream? And before you answer it, I'll go first. But what's your
Okay.
big thing that you want to do? Oh dear God, I can't believe I'm about to say it. I want to be the next Oprah Winfrey. Except
praise God.
there will never be a replacement of Oprah. Let me be super clear, but that's what I
Right.
want to do. I want to have my own talk show. I want to talk about real issues that affect women every day. What do you want to do, Charene?
You know, it's really similar to that. So I'm gonna tell you 3 things that God told me to do.
Okay.
I mean 3. And I was like, really? Okay, the first is he said, I want you to write, I want you to speak, and I want you to teach. Those 3 things. And because your message is a message that they need to hear. People need a refreshing message. They need a real message. They need to know these are things that I'm dealing with every day. Can somebody understand me? Right? And so what I see is it is through being and talking like in this type of vehicle or, in this type of setting, so that people just know, you mean there are people that actually talk like this? There are people women, I should say, that actually, actually get what I'm feeling, that I don't have to try to be something that I'm not, that I can just be real and have a real conversation. So that's one thing, but to do it on a grander scale, because I think, again, we want to say, stay too small,
Absolutely.
or we don't want to be seen. Well, you know what? You have to do that, because in order to impact the lives of people that you want, it's not going to be a onesie twosie. You have to get out there. And so when I think about what you want to do in terms of being, the Kendrick Shope, and not, though it may mimic an Oprah Winfrey, you stand, you are in your big zone to do what you are called to do, right? So when I think about that, so my big dream is really to be talking to women on a scale to where they hear my voice and they will shift something in their lives.
I love it.
So,
I love it.
and I know that people learn and get things very differently. So I think that's why he has these 3 things. I want you to write, I want you to speak, and I want you to teach. And so that's really my big thing, is to really do it so that women, where you could see an impactful change of women going like, man, I have my own personal economy and I am not tied to anything else, and I can make the difference that I came to make.
I love our personal economy, because so much
yes.
freedom comes from that, right?
I know.
So much freedom. It's
Man.
beautiful. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
So,
and just for anybody who is like,
and whenever you're ready.
So make no mistake about it, for anybody watching or listening, I have no desire to mimic Miss Winfrey. I just want my own personal version of that. And look, I'm doing it. Regardless of the size, look, I get to interview amazing women like Charene every day. And so what I want you to see from this podcast is, yes, women, it is possible. That's Charene's message, right? Like, don't play small, play big. And there are all different levels at which you can do this. I'm doing what I want to do right here and right now in Greenville, South Carolina. Mm-hmm. And if that grows, it grows. And if it doesn't, I'm happy with where I am right now. Mm-hmm. So women, that's how you go out and you get anything you want. You figure out how you can make it happen right where you are, and you do it. You take a step. You get in the game. Right, Charene?
Yes, you get in the game and you just take a step.
You suit up. You suit up and you say, put me in, coach. I'm ready to go.
That's it. And run this play. That's what and it is interesting when you think about coaching. Like when I talk to my clients, okay, here's the play I want you to run. Go run the play.
Yeah.
Don't sit on the sideline. I am sending you into this game. Go run the play. Run the play,
Well,
kind
yeah,
of deal.
and I think that circles back around to where we started, which is don't sit on the sidelines of your life, right? Live it, love it, laugh every day as much as you can. Get off the sidelines of your life.
Yes.
It's not going to wait on you. Suit up and get in.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you get to create it.
So, Charene, we will put the link to your challenge at the bottom of this when we send it out and also when we post it.
Okay.
For anybody who wants to find out other information about you, about your work, about creating their own economy, where should they go?
Well, there's two things. One, I would suggest that you check out my blog, The Millionaire's Entrepreneur, and that's just themillionairesentrepreneur.com.
We'll link to it for you.
Yes. And really when I think about that blog, and I really am just now blogging, and I love actually writing because there are so many things we deal with every day. Again, the belief. I just posted a blog about how to really ask for what you want so you get it, right? We can't ask going like, oh, I sort of kind of want this, right? So really it's important for us to recognize what we do, how we do things. And if it's not really working out, we need to check some things. We have three things we have absolute control over: our mind, our time, and our money. Those three things we have absolute control over, and it's up to us to use it. So when I think about themillionairesentrepreneur.com, you can go there and find some great things. Sign up for my mailing list, get on the mailing list, and you'll get information and more around your business and some good stuff. So that's another opportunity. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Was there something else? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. So that, they can catch me on any kind of, I shouldn't say any kind of, they can catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I am on social media. So just look for Charene Goodman and you can find me there. Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. And ladies, you heard it here first. Create your own economy. Yeah. Stop being the victim of somebody else's choice. Get off the sidelines of your life and put me in, coach. Put me in today, except don't rely on anybody else to do it but yourself. What an empowering message. Charene, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, well, thank you. I've enjoyed it. Really have. You rock.
Ladies, I believe in you. I believe in your business, and I believe in your ability to create anything you want. Let's go.